I am Marie Van Der Zyl, President of the Board of Deputies of British Jews. This video, presented by Central US Synagogue in Birmingham, will hopefully encourage all members of the Jewish community to consider what more they can do to help slow down the climate emergency and the drastic consequences we are all facing. With Rosh Hashanah approaching, now is the ideal time for us all to make a New Year's resolution and to commit to changing our lifestyle so we can help offset what is the vital challenge our world has ever faced.
If we continue on our current path, we will face the collapse of everything that gives us our security: food production, access to fresh water, habitable ambient temperature, and ocean food chains. And if the natural world can no longer support the most basic of our needs, then much of the rest of civilization will quickly break down. Please make no mistake. Climate change is the biggest threat to security that modern humans have ever faced. I do believe that if we act fast enough, we can reach a new stable state.
As a responsible citizen and a Jew, we have a responsibility to look after our world. Lately, it's become more and more obvious that what we need to do is reduce our use of plastics and eat less meat, and those will be ways in which we can try and improve things for our children and our grandchildren.
Yes, so I've been asked to say a few words about the environment, about my own concerns about the environment. First thing to say is that I'm obviously very concerned about climate change, about some things that are going on. What I do about it, I keep myself informed, and I mean properly informed. I don't just get rubbish from Facebook, but I read New Scientist regularly, so every week there's more stuff that comes out from there. The BMJ also has lots, British Medical Journal has lots about climate change, about the effect that's having on health and the risks to global health that flow from that. What have I done about it so far? Well, I've got an electric car, which means that I'm producing far less carbon dioxide from transport, and as well as producing less by way of other fumes that will damage children's lungs. Most importantly, I think, is to understand that I do regard the environment as a Jewish issue, and I think that if we don't actually take care of the environment, take care of our fellow human beings and the plant and animal kingdoms, then I really don't know what all this davening is about. If we're not looking after God's creation, then what on earth are we doing here?
And I plan on dedicating my career to a transition to a clean energy system, renewable energy system in Israel. And I totally agree and echo with what Dad said about how it's a Jewish issue. We're all charged by Hashem to protect Hashem's creations and be a force for good in the world, a force for Hashem's will in the world.
Hello, my name is Danielle and I'm going to show you how we protect the environment. So let's get started. So what I wanted to share with you is allergy lamps. They're more like bad, so as you see here. And the next thing I wanted to show is LED. It's more like good as energy lamps.
Energy efficient.
So as you see here, it's A++. And that's good. This is bad. And that's what I wanted to show you. Okay.
I am going to show you a few of the things that I use in my home to try and save on plastic, reduce on landfill, reduce waste, try and limit a little bit the use of one-use only plastic, just some of the things that I use that you might be interested to see. So first of all, I'm going to talk about plastic. So when I go shopping and I go to the supermarket, I try and buy products in glass bottles rather than plastic bottles. That's what I try and do. I then get I also get my milk delivered in milk bottles rather than using plastic bottles, so that's recyclable and that's quite fun. Also, I've just taken this, which is my watering jug, you can see, and I use this, I keep this by the sink, and when I run the tap for hot water, if I want to do some washing up or whatever it is, I have this and I fill this up with all the cold water rather than let it just, go down the sink. So that's my way of trying to save a little bit on the water front. That we need to focus on how we can eat, not just for our own health, but for planetary health. I have been thinking about it for a while, and I do like eating for my own well-being, but I am also as concerned about the world in which we live.
I noticed during COVID, when there was so little traffic around, that the air was cleaner, there was more wildlife, and I could hear the birds sing. So I have made a decision that one less car on the road is a good thing. And where I can't walk, and I try and walk everywhere, I'll use public transport or local trains and trams.
Until quite recently, many people just weren't taking the whole issue of climate change seriously. But now it is abundantly clear to us all that in probably just 50 to 100 years' time, and this applies to our grandchildren, our great-grandchildren, their very lives could be endangered unless we do something now responsibly for the sake of our environment. Let us therefore take a leaf out of the book of Moshe to guarantee that what we do now will be the right thing, not just for us, but also for the generations to come.